Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready for the event finals here from the campus of Fairmont State University in Day 2 of the Mountain East Conference Acrobatics and Tumbling Championship. Colin Kirkwood as well as Christy Kiefer here as we get ready for Day 2 of action. Christy, what should we look forward to here? As it's going to be a little bit different as we get ready for the championship meet.
Yes, it is. It's really exciting. It gives every team an opportunity to really showcase their best heats that they have from their teams and the ones that have scored the highest. So, we're going to see a few events that we athletes that we didn't see yesterday competing because
teams that we didn't see as well.
Yes.
One, I should say, yes, at least Notre Dame College here.
Yes, absolutely. So you may have a team that they didn't qualify for the championship or the tournament, but now they have an opportunity to show what they've been working on all semester and compete that event. And so that's the fun part to see. So we get to see a wide variety of athletes and teams.
Fairmont State, Frostburg State, West Liberty, Glenville State, as well as Notre Dame College all present here. 14 qualifying heats for the Bobcats, 13 for Fairmont State, 11 for the Pioneers of Glenville State, the Hilltoppers with 5, and Notre Dame College with 2.
Yes, it's going to be a fun morning. I think that if you talk to any of the coaches and the athletes of these different teams, they really look forward to this part of the conference championship. It's fun. A lot of camaraderie that's going on with the different athletes and watching them as they compete and cheer each other on.
We'll start off with acro coming up here shortly. A couple of minutes before we kick off the actions. Why don't we step aside for a quick break, and when we come back, we should be close enough to the action here. Stay tuned as we start Day 2 here of the Mountain East Conference Championships right here on MEC TV.
Health coverage for your family, your employees, and your company is one of the most important decisions you can make. The health plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. We are here for your family. We are here for your business. We'll be here for you when you need us most, because your health coverage is our priority. The health plan, here for you.
I'm Keith Powell, and I'm in love with helping you get your next car, truck, or SUV. I love saying yes to $2 down. I love saying yes to $200 monthly payments. I love saying yes to up to $2,000 more for your trade. And I love saying yes to your approved with my Keith Says Yes credit approval process. All of this plus a lifetime warranty only at Yes Chevrolet in Hurricane.
Legacy began in 1973. That was the year NCAA Division II was born. And since the very first day, our division has shaped generations of student athletes with a true sense of academics, athletics, and community. That is 5 decades of graduations, championships, teamwork, and personal development. 50 years of shaping student athletes into world-class leaders. NCAA Division II. Our division, our legacy.
Welcome back here, folks. Moments away from the beginning of Day 2 here of the Mountain East Conference Acrobatics and Tumbling Championships as we get ready for individuals kicking off here at 11 o'clock. We'll start things out with the acro portion. And, of course, for those of you tuning in, may or may not be aware of how acro works, why not a little bit of a preview, if you will, as we get ready to get started?
Yes, the first thing you're going to see the top 3 teams, or I should say the top 3 groups from different teams that will be participating and competing in what would be 5-element, a 6-element, and there's 7-element acro, and you will see that within the 6-element it will be actually synchronized. So we'll see more athletes on the mat at that point. With this 5 elements, you're going to see 5 specific different skills that are combined together that are done within a 45-second period, and we are looking at trying to keep it as clean and as precise as possible. Each of the athletes are officiated on looking at no movement, body type, body position, amplitude, and everything that you can see that you look at from the normal eye out as a spectator. The officials are looking at that, plus they're looking at more the preciseness coming through. So it's a fun time, looking at perfecting those skills.
In terms of qualification across the board here in the 5 element, we have Fairmont State, Frostburg State, and Glenville State. In the 6 element, the same group, and then the only change really is when we get to the 7 element, where you will see West Liberty inserted into the rotation in favor of Fairmont State.
Yes, so it's exciting to see all of these teams. Everyone's going out to see who can bring home the most hardware, for their school, representing their school. And a fun time, and looks like we're getting close to ready to start.
Should not be too much longer as we wait for things. We'll have the national anthem coming up here shortly, and when we come back from that, it will be ready to go here from Joe Retton Arena on campus of Fairmont State University. Stay tuned here on MEC TV.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Health coverage for your family, your employees, and your company is one of the most important decisions you can make. The health plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. We are here for your family. We are here for your business. We'll be here for you when you need us most, because your health coverage is our priority. The health plan, here for you.
I'm Keith Powell, and I'm in love with helping you get your next car, truck, or SUV. I love saying yes to only $2 down. I love saying yes to $200 monthly payments. I love saying yes to up to $2,000 more for your trade. And I love saying yes to You're Approved with my Keith Says Yes credit approval process. All of this plus a lifetime warranty only at Yes Ford in Huntington.
Welcome back here, everybody. Moments away from the beginning here of day 2. Shouldn't be too much longer as we continue to wait things out. Looks like we'll actually need to jump aside one more time here for the national anthem. Once we're done with that, we'll finally be ready to go. Stay waiting here. We're almost there on MEC TV. We are finally just about ready to go here. It seems like we've been doing a lot of waiting, but it's just about time to finally get started here this afternoon.
Yes, it's an exciting morning, and one way to get us to kick off is to watch Glenville State here in a minute when they come up as the first individual 5-element acro that will be competing.
Looks like they'll actually have all 3 groups step up here. We'll go from there.
Again, all 3 heats do have a start value of 10.0. Nicely done. You can see Glenville's top. She had nice control.
You had a great smile on top of that as well, and I feel like it's hard to do that, especially when you're that locked in and that concentrating. So
yes, I agree. Again, you know, we're looking at the 3 best scoring acro 5 elements that are coming up. So it's just waiting to see if they can execute to their perfection, and if anyone makes any minute, small errors, that may be what will cause them to not place in that first place.
See Fairmont State following that up shortly, and like you said, all starting values of 10 all around here. So plenty of points to be had.
Officials are working diligently.
We talked about this earlier. You'd have to think that maybe for these 2 teams that are waiting around for 3 o'clock, having this happen, of course, in front, would you say it might be helpful, if you will, or perhaps maybe difficult for them to get ready for later on?
Well, I think with the 2 teams that will be competing for later on, it acts as a warm-up for them, but also, too, you know, it's their endurance, and it takes a lot of energy. So they have to conserve a little bit of that energy as well. Here's Fairmont State taking a mat. That's very unfortunate for Fairmont State that they weren't able to stick their first element, the first skill that they had, which, you know, after seeing Glenville go first, we know that that's going to take them out of the running for this individual championship. But they did pick up, they continued, and they finished very strong with the rest of it, and that just shows the competitors that they are.
Final portion coming up here is you'll have the Bobcats coming up. See them over there on the right side of your screen, just about ready, waiting for the call to step up here. Might be going through one final thing before they step on. Another practice run through, maybe, if you will.
You have to remember, the last 2 teams that competed last night, West Liberty and Fairmont State, they were here pretty late in the evening, so they had a pretty short turnaround time to get here this morning.
Very well done there.
Yes, very nice. Good control. You can see the full extension in that handstand. And nice control as she straddled down into the next skill, following skill.
It'd be rather difficult to actually pick between Glenville State and Frostburg there, as they both did a very fantastic job.
Yes, I'm glad I'm not sitting in the official seat. That is a very difficult decision to make. Again, they're looking off of the criteria that they have been trained for in officiating and identifying each individual element and looking for any flaws.
That might be the theme here this afternoon, having to look rather closely when it comes to these kind of things because, of course, like you said, these teams are bringing their best, and it might be hard to really separate some.
Absolutely, and as we've seen in a couple of meets this season, that it comes down to maybe a tenth or even a hundredth of a point. So perfection's important.
Should be a great afternoon. Looks like we've got our result here.
Your 5-element acro champion with a score of 9.7, Frostburg State.
First trophy of the day out there on the mat. And thoughts on that?
That's awarded to Frostburg, and well deserved. Well deserved.
Coming up next, the 6 element will have the same 3 institutions out there. The Pioneers, the Bobcats, and the Fighting Falcons again.
Yes, as we look at the 6 element, it's a little bit different from the previous one because now we have the synchronization that comes in to effect as well. So you have 2 different acros that are going on at the same time, and the officials are not only looking at execution of each individual piece, but also the synchronization and the timing of the 2 together. And here's Fairmont State.
Might have struggled just a bit towards the right side.
On the mount, I believe you're referring to the very, very beginning. She did a balance check of lifting her arms and just a little bit of looseness. I'm not real sure how much reduction that will be. Again, there are 2 other teams that will be coming up. As far as synchronization goes, the synchronization was on point for the 2, and very nice job with that.
We'll see the Bobcats coming up next. Energy here in the building through the roof. Rather, I wouldn't say super early here this afternoon, but you can definitely feel the energy pick up as soon as you come through the gates.
Yes. I think they're all starting to wake up now.
You can see what the Bobcats bring to the mat. seem to be very thrilled with that.
Yes, they are. We must say that Frostburg has a start value of 9.9 with that. Fairmont State had a start value of 10.0. And Glenville State will be coming up in just a minute, and they have a start value of 9.85. So that's one one thing that the officials are factoring in too. So when they find those deductions, they will be subtracting those deductions from the Fairmont State at 10.0 or from Frostburg at 9.9 and Glenville at 9.85.
The Pioneers over on the right side as they wait to close this 6-element portion out. Looks like we'll step out now.
9.85, Glenville State.
Be very well executed there.
Yes, it was. Very nice job. Very nice job. Again, I'm glad I'm not one of the officials.
Oh, yeah. It would definitely be very difficult to start picking through. First time it was, and it's going to continue here. I think that's going to be the trend this afternoon. This will be the 7-element coming up next, and we will sub out Fairmont State for West Liberty as they've been patiently waiting over there towards the left side.
If you're not fortunate enough to be here to watch the meets or to watch the individual finals and you're watching online, one thing that you are missing out on is not only what you see on the mat and hear of the athletes on the side mats, but you're missing the reactions of the coaches that are really located between us and the other score table in the front. When they come out, sometimes they're more excited, I think, than anyone else, and it's just enjoyable watching them and how thrilled they get when they see their athletes hit that skill.
To see where the next trophy will land.
And it looks like it's about ready to be announced.
Your 6-element acro champion with a score of 9.45, Frostburg.
And for some of these jumps over here to our left, I feel like we need to get a tape measure just so we can see some vertical because there is a lot of height coming on these.
A lot of excitement, yes, and they should be excited. Well deserved.
Once again, the 7-element coming up on deck next. And we will move into Pyramid.
Our next team is the 7-element acro. First with a start value of 10.0, Frostburg State.
Here come the Bobcats. tradition in the books here, as there are the Bobcats making their way off the floor.
Yes, they executed very well. Good control, good body position. You know, I did not catch any steps on the ground. I don't know if you did or not from my angle. But again, we don't see everything from the same angle that the officials do. We're looking at from the side of the mat, or the corner of the mat, I should say.
They are front and center, rightfully so. We believe it will be the Pioneers coming up here next. Another addition from the Pioneers as they make their way off the mat.
If you notice from the first heat of Frostburg that they actually had 4 participants that were athletes that were participating in a counter. And as you saw Glenville, they had 3 active participants in a counter. You can have anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 active participants, and then you can have an additional counter. So that again is, you know, depending upon what skills they're doing, the ability of the athletes, and, you know, it's a coaching decision. So, you know, you'll see that vary from team to team and event to event. We look at the different acros.
Finally, we'll have the Hilltoppers make their way out here momentarily. And then on into the pyramid we go here this afternoon. First time we will see the black and yellow on the back here this afternoon. Here they come. Take a couple of gather steps there just to keep that balance towards the beginning, centered out towards the bottom.
I think sometimes, when the athletes take the floor, they try too hard, so to speak. They want to do so well, and so tight. And I think that sometimes it works a little bit against them.
We'll see which way the trophy will head here shortly.
Yeah, it looks like there's a possibility that we could have a clean sweep with Frostburg for the acro event. Yes.
Would be a great way for them to get started here.
Again, you will see the championship this afternoon at 3 o'clock, and it will feature Frostburg versus Fairmont State.
That should be a very entertaining affair between both of them. is the result?
Seven-element acro champion with a score of 9.675 for Osborne State.
And that is the sweep to open things up here in the first event.
We now move on to the pyramid event. Our first team is the inversion pyramid. First,
Stepping into pyramid now, a brief overview of the pyramid, if you could say, would be along the lines of what?
Well, I think if we look at the pyramid, we're going to see multiple athletes on the floor now, and with more athletes, more of a chance of movement. More stability issues could come about, and they have to really work together, have their timing together. Most teams have a counter out there who will help them in keeping everything synchronized within that structure. When they hit that handstand position, they have to hold a 3 count, and before they do dismount. We did see they had a little issue on the dismount and catching the cradle with the legs. They dipped a little bit lower. Again, we just have to wait and see how the other two do and see where the scores fall.
It's great for Fairmont State that they're getting a chance to run through these things beforehand as they get ready for later on this afternoon. Not quite sure, at least the way it seems right now. Maybe something a little bit off with them, perhaps.
Yeah, well, I think, again, it's they know that they've got a championship coming up.
Right.
And it's sometimes that may factor into it as well.
I believe it will be Glenville State coming up here next.
Next with a start value of 10.0, Glenville State.
Very nicely done. And you can see by their reaction, they know that they really nailed that. They have a good extension on the handstand, good control on the balance, nice high catch on the dismount. I don't think they could have executed that any better than what they did.
And a lot of solid additions from them so far here this afternoon, I'm noticing off the bat. Waiting on the Bobcats to close out.
Yes, one more team to come.
With a start value of 10.0, Frostburg State.
That'll round us out here for this portion. Anything sticking out to you in particular there?
Well, they did not maintain that 3-second hold at the top. They had an earlier dismount, and you can hear the counter counting the 3, which indicates that. So,
right.
From the small errors that I saw from the first and third team, I would call Glenville on this one. And again, I'm not sitting in that chair, but we all like to officiate on the side once in a while.
We'll see which way it will go here shortly, and then we will jump forward again.
Watching all 3 groups, you can see that how excited the Glenville State is at this point, and the other are a little more, just a little more subdued. And I know that you work your hardest, you do your best, and when you do hit that, it is fulfilling and it's exciting. A feeling of accomplishment.
Coming up after this, we will have the synchronized pyramid. It will be Fairmont State, Frostburg State, and West Liberty next time around.
Your inversion pyramid champion with a score of 9.725. Glenville State.
You were right on the money there.
Yeah, there you go. Well deserved.
Very great for them. You can just tell that means so much to them.
It does.
Really gave it their all yesterday and put out a very great performance. Just came up a bit short.
Yes, they did. And
chances like this add to it.
Again, absolutely.
On the way forward, here comes Fairmont State as we continue to move along.
Another nice performance. As you see, now we're back in the synchronization of the 2 different structures, similar to what we saw with the acro in that second heat. So only in addition to each execution piece, we have that continuity of both structures being compared and looking exactly the same.
Waiting on the Hilltoppers to step forward now. Here they are. Pretty big group of Hilltopper faithful behind this here, and they can really bring the energy here for them this afternoon.
Yes, they do. I enjoy watching this heat with the synchronized pyramid because even their tops look the same. They look like they're not related, I don't believe, but they even look like they could be twins on top. So we talk about synchronization, taking it to that next level.
Very tough to beat here. Let's see if the Bobcats are up to the task coming up as they'll round out this portion. On forward into the open coming up. pretty happy smiles there towards the end of that.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to call. I mean, all three structures, all three different schools hit, and all three structures look really good. And so it's going to come down to that 10th or maybe 100th of a point.
Your best judgment, what would you say if you had to pick right now?
Oh, I'm not.
You were great on the last one.
I'm not going to touch that one. That's because there were some errors from the other teams. It was more obvious, I think, from that perspective. But this is a little tighter call. Maybe I should ask, what would you call?
Tough to call here myself. I agree with you on that. It was a little bit easier maybe the last time around, but tough to pick out at this point in time. But I might see myself leaning a bit towards Fairmont State maybe. We'll have to see.
We're about to find out.
Your synchronized pyramid champion with a score of 9.75 for Osborne State.
Not a bad time to be proven wrong.
That's why you're not at the scores table, right?
You could say that. As we get ready for the open pyramid now, once again, Fairmont State, Frostburg State, and Glenville will round out.
Our next heat is the open pyramid. First with a start value of 10.0, Glenville State.
Their strong afternoon continues here with another great addition.
Very good execution. I like the sharpness that they have. That they even measure themselves with their arms prior to the beginning with the top and the catcher.
Big fan of the energy that they're bringing here this afternoon. Just something about it stands out to me. I believe it'll be the Bobcats up next.
Up next with a start value of 10.0, Frostburg State.
Anything standing out there?
Another good performance.
It's going to get tougher the longer we go here to maybe point some things out. As we said earlier, it's just the fact that everyone's bringing their A game here this afternoon.
Well, and you have to remember that these are the top. I mean, they've been competing in all of these different skills through the whole semester, and these are the top scores that they've had at all the meets. So we're seeing the best of the best out there.
There'll be a closeout coming from Fairmont State momentarily. And into the toss we go. top notch there.
Yes, nice job. Again, that's a different pyramid than we've seen so far, and but they still have a criteria that they have to follow.
Right.
How would you like to be that top?
I don't think so. I don't think that'd be for me.
Gives new meaning to what? Trust falls?
Oh, without a doubt. Really one of the things where you have to put a lot of trust into your teammates. We'll see who walks away here with another trophy to add.
Again, all three of these were just top of the top, and it's I'm satisfied with any of them. I think they all did very, very well.
3 viable choices out there. This one just comes down to some things we might not have necessarily seen that others might have been paying attention to.
You're exactly right. Just that score sheet.
Coming up next, we will have the toss event coming. We do a little background on toss while we wait.
We look at the tosses. We're going to see that the start values are going to be lower than what we watched in the pyramid and acro. We're not going to have any 10s. It's really, really tough to get a 10 in the start value for toss. I think we're getting ready. A tie.
Oh.
Ooh.
Glenville State and Frostburg State. Up first will be Glenville State. Their start value of 10.0.
So we'll go again.
And Glenville State and Frostburg State, I believe they did the same pyramid.
Now tell me, is this something that happens often?
Every once in a while we have a tie. One thing to notice, Glenville is, if it is the same pyramid, they're doing it with fewer athletes on the floor.
Almost a carbon copy, it seems.
Consistency.
See if that carries over to this version as well. Eventually we'll get to the toss. It's coming up, I promise. Say it's not too often that you see a tie like this. You said it does happen occasionally, but definitely not something that you see very often.
Agreed.
They're going to probably take plenty of time over there as they try to really take a fine-tooth comb through this.
They are looking at everything very detailed oriented.
Waiting for the go-ahead. One of the 2 teams that you'll see coming up at 3 p.m. over there. We'll, of course, talk about that a bit later on this afternoon, but it's going to be a repeat of a very entertaining meet from a couple of weeks ago in Western Maryland.
This is a very good rivalry between Fairmont State and Frostburg State.
And it carries over to multiple aspects. Not a lot of people realize.
It does. Short
distance between the two. Almost natural rivals, if you will.
Absolutely.
As somebody who's been through plenty of editions across the board of various aspects of that, that's definitely the way it seems to me, at least.
And again, it's a healthy rival.
Right. Everybody has at least one, if you ask me.
Give them just a little bit longer. I think they're.
He must be struggling over there to find anything they can point to here.
I think they just signaled for Frostburg to take the floor.
I do not envy them in having to make a choice here.
No, one thing I do want to point out that you do see more athletes on the floor with Frostburg, but if you watch what they do, they actually have two that were standing behind the structure, and they really act, I think, for safety as a spotter, so they really weren't not physically engaged in that pyramid. So, you know, really those were identically the same pyramids and with the same number of athletes performing in them. As you can tell, I'm avoiding your question.
Rightfully so here. Like I said, it's going to be rather difficult to choose between these two. Of course, coming up in the first iteration of the toss, it'll be Fairmont State, Frostburg State, and again, Glenville State coming up once we get our winner here. Whenever that may be. Already headed to the halfway point of this version, if you will, of action here this afternoon. I can see some smiles over here on this judging table over here, as I think they are struggling a bit to choose from which way they want to head here.
I think they just really want to get it right.
It's a big thing for both sides here, being able to add another trophy to their afternoon to bring on home. Closer by the second here. Still looking forward to later on this afternoon. We have our championship meet, so make sure you stick around for that coming later. And it looks like we've got our answer.
Your Open Pyramid champion with a score of 9.825, Glenville State.
I had a feeling it might be headed their way, as both additions they brought out there were very well done.
Yes, they executed very well in the pyramid segment of our competition, of our meet.
All three groups trotting their way out here to get started as we can now move forward again.
We now move on to the toss event. Our first heat is the 450 Salto toss. First with a start value of 9.4, Frostburg State.
and off and running here.
Yes, with the first toss coming through, we saw a 450 salto. They did one complete rotation, which is a single full. Officials are looking at body position, height, amplitude, and catch to the cradle. Again, no movement on the body.
Again, more acro and tumbling action will be once again here on the campus of Fairmont State coming up in a couple of weeks here as the national championship making its way to Joe Retton Arena.
Yes, we're very excited to be hosting it here. And
what excites that for you personally about having that making its way here to campus?
Just being one of the original schools that began the acrobatics and tumbling, and we're talking over 14 years ago, and just seeing it develop and come to fruition, and watching everyone come back to our campus. It's we just like to showcase not only our university, our city, but our state as well, and definitely our conference.
Up next, with a start value of 9.4, Fairmont State.
Here comes Fairmont State. I had to lean a bit there to make sure that catch came down okay, but I don't think that's going to be anything too big on a score sheet.
Yeah, it's they did take a little step back on it, for the catch. They did have good height in the process too, and sometimes one counteracts the other going through, and we're just looking to see what teams can put it all together and have all of those elements and execute with perfection.
Glenville over there on the right side waiting.
Our final heat with a start value of 9.9, Glenville State.
I always wonder what goes through the mind of the athletes when they're up in the air spinning like that on the way down.
Oh boy, I tell you. With Glenville State, they did a double full toss, which gave them a 0.5 start value higher than what we saw with Frostburg and Fairmont State. Frostburg and Fairmont State had the same toss, and so it'll be interesting to see what the officials see. And again, looking at body position, height, and catching of the cradle, and all the intricate aspects that go into play.
Don't think we'll see another tie here in this one. I think it might be a bit easier for them to choose a winner perhaps this time around.
I agree with you. I think that it's a little bit more difficult to tie into this area, but who knows? You may be surprised.
Trophy on the way out.
450 salto toss champion with a score of 9.6, Glenville State.
Another win for the Pioneers.
And when they announced 9.6, we already knew they won because Frostburg and Fairmont State had a start value of 9.4. So that was our dead giveaway. Nicely done.
It's great to see them walk away with plenty of individual awards here.
They're doing very well today.
Next up here in the synchronized, again, that same trio of schools out there as they shift positions and members.
Is the synchronized toss. Up first with a start value of 9.4, Glendale State.
And as you see, that now we have two structures going together, and we're looking at synchronization.
Rather synchronized to me.
The other time it looked pretty much on point. I feel like that this is one of those events that's very, very difficult to get synced exactly the same, to look the same in the air, the body positions, the rotation. You know, they don't have to kick out because they're not tucking, but you know, as they sweep through. So it's not easy to do.
Should be Fairmont State coming up here next.
And according to their start value of being a 9.4, it looks like they were doing the same toss that Glenville State did as well.
Up next with a start value of 9.4, Fairmont State.
Anything sticking out there?
Yeah, very clean. They had really good height. Body position looked good in the air. I thought that their synchronization was on point. Done very well.
Finally, the Bobcats will round us out. And the Open coming.
Looking at the start value for the Bobcats, they have a 9.9, which indicates that they will be throwing double fools for their toss. And again, you know, if they come out with a higher than a 9.4 finish, we know that they will have this event. Again, it's all upon the execution. Nice job. It was executed very well.
Be another tough choice coming up on the horizon here.
Yes, nice tight body position.
We Open on the way after this, and once again, that same trio of schools out there. That we'll step into tumbling, which of course is always exciting.
Again, my favorite time, tumbling.
Straight across the board of duo, trio, quad. Don't want to look too far ahead, but at least the first three. Up. Actually, the first time you'll see Notre Dame College in the mix later on.
And we have a decision.
Your synchronized toss champion with a score of 9.375, Frostburg State.
Another win for the Bobcats in the books here this afternoon. I believe it'll be Fairmont State kicking us off, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, my apologies. It's the Pioneers.
Glenville has a start value of a 9.4, and the next two teams, Fairmont State and Frostburg, you will see will come up with a start value of a 9.9. So both these teams will be throwing the same toss, which will be a double full.
Another tough decision on the way, I would have to imagine. These couple members of Fairmont State keeping loose here as they wait to step out.
You can watch that sometimes we see many of the same athletes coming up for all of the different events, and again, you know, it's interesting watching different teams because some athletes are in multiple events and some are not in quite as many. All depends on where their strengths lie and the positions that they're needed for.
A lot of smiles there towards the end of that.
Nice tight body position in the air. A good height, good projection.
We'll have one more addition coming up here as we round things out.
But looking at the makeup of different teams, you'll see that I think the recruiting for the coaches for each team is really similar to that I always use as a football team. You know, you have different positions,
right,
and you recruit differently for what you need. You've got bases, you have tops, you have tumblers. Some are versatile and can do all of the above. And some are just specialists in their own respective area.
Sure.
Here's Frostburg taking the mat.
Great work up top there.
Good height, good body position.
We will have the duo tumbling coming up next. Gives us a chance to look a little bit closer at who we will see out there. Should be Madison Hahn and Savannah Duckworth, the pair coming up shortly. That'll be Glenville kicking us off after another trophy is issued.
One more thing when we enter the tumbling event, you'll see that there's a wider diversified span as we look at the different start values. We don't have as many, just one specific start value, but you'll see it branch out anywhere from usually 9.5, 9.6 on up. Okay, we get into quads. Sometimes they drop a little bit lower, just because of not having as many people can do that skill, difficulty of skill.
With a trophy on the way.
Your open toss champion with a score of 9.6. Fairmont State.
And that one went to Fairmont State.
Very impressed with their performance that time around. Well deserved, if you ask me.
So now they're going to have a short intermission so that it gives all the athletes an opportunity to warm up their tumbling skills prior to. Oh, one moment.
Okay, 1 second here before we jump into that.
These are student athletes from Notre Dame College for all conference.
There's one more coming. If I'm not mistaken, Coach of the Year.
And the 2024 MEC Coach of the Year from Notre Dame College,
It's nice to see her getting a chance to smile, as there hasn't really been a whole lot to smile about as of late.
Yes, unfortunately, earlier in this semester we heard of Notre Dame College closing their doors at the end of this semester, and she was fortunate enough to begin that program of acrobatics and tumbling, and Notre Dame has been very successful with it. And we just really hope that all the athletes find a home in acrobatics and tumbling. We have many schools that are out there, and they can choose
Be
from.
more than willing to have you step in to be a part, if you will.
Absolutely, absolutely. Always reach out. And same thing with the coach, with Nikki. She'll be looking for a new coaching home, and she's already showed what she can do. And hopefully someone will reach out to her and take advantage of her area of expertise.
But before we take a break here, you had a thought that you were beginning on before we stepped out with trophies, or you can at least think about that. We'll come back to that a bit later.
I will. We'll pick that up after the break.
Yeah, we'll step aside here as we've reached the halfway point in individual awards here on MEC TV.
Pal, and I'm in love with helping you get your next car, truck, or SUV. I love saying yes to $2 down. I love saying yes to $200 monthly payments. I love saying yes to up to $2,000 more for your trade. And I love saying yes to your approved with my Keith Says Yes credit approval process. All of this plus a lifetime warranty only at Yes Chevrolet in Hurricane.
Choosing health coverage for your family, your employees, and your company is one of the most important decisions you can make. The health plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. We are here for your family. We are here for your business. We'll be here for you when you need us most, because your health coverage is our priority. The health plan, here for you.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
Welcome back here as we get set to go here with duos. It's Glenville State kicking us off. It's a 9-6 for the Pioneers and Madison Hahn and Savannah Duckworth.
And number 33, Savannah Duckworth.
Tough to tell much of a difference there, if anything.
Very good. Synchronization was good. Used to the timing. Little variation on the landing.
Should be the Fairmont State edition coming up next. This will be a 9.75.
So they have about a 1.15 start value higher than Glenville.
That's Katie Cole and Riley Vincent, the duo coming. So they're coming from the right side, it looks like.
Katie is a senior this year at Fairmont State, and she was also selected as Athlete of the Year for the Mountain East Conference.
Just waiting to get the go-ahead.
Many times you watch the athletes that come up into the different events, and you see most of them are seniors or juniors and seniors because they have to work their way up to it.
Right. There's a lot riding on these events if you think about it.
Yes, going back to Glenville, Savannah was a sophomore, so she has a couple more years here.
From Fairmont State, number 5, Katie Cole. And number 21, Riley Vincent.
Nicely executed.
Very, very well done there. Again, tough to see much of a difference, if any.
They really sync very well together. And their heights are different, so, you know, they have to work on that as well, so it's not like they have the same...
There's definitely a couple of inches of difference there.
Yes, that makes a difference too.
That is Cole, who checks in at 5'8". And Vincent checking in at 5'3". So, yeah, there's a rather sizable difference there.
5 inches, yes.
Finally, it's the Bobcat edition coming up. That is Abby Baker and Sydney Green, 8 and 17, respectively.
Executed very well as also.
I was going to say, I might venture to say that might be the best one we've seen so far. At least to my untrained eye, I should say.
There you go. I'm not going to weigh in on that one.
We'll have to see what comes of this. Next will be the trio. The first time we'll get to see Notre Dame College in action this afternoon.
Yes, and also too, you'll notice that as we add more athletes, the number of athletes, the start values stereotypically have a tendency to get a little bit lower. So, you know, you're going to see that between trio and quad that, you know, may change a little bit. So, you know, again, you'll see a lot of fulls that are thrown. That would be an 8.5 start value. We see a lot of 1.5s, which would be a 9.1 start value. And that's basically what we see in the trios and quads.
Trophy on the way out.
And your duo tumbling champion with a score of 9.375, Frostburg State.
See, I told you you should be officiating. There you go. You redeemed yourself,
yeah,
right?
that time. Another win for Frostburg State in the duo.
Our next team is trio tumbling. First with a start value of 8.5 from Frostburg State. Number 6, Caitlin Bolton. Number 29, Eleanor Longridge. And number 1, Joanna Welch.
Here's the trio for the Bobcats as we pick up right away. Any thoughts there?
Synchronization was on point. They notice they started a little closer together, and that can be in your benefit, or that could be not in your benefit if you don't have good synchronization. They do have that, so I think that worked well in their favor, starting closer together. Body position was good. Controlled step on the landing.
Should be Fairmont State coming up next. Noelle Ellison, Caitlin Joseph, and Natalie Moore. They're a freshman and a senior for this.
Yes, they actually have an 8.5 start value, and so they will be doing a full as well.
Next with a start value of 8.5 from Fairmont State. Number 3, Noelle Ellison. Number 8, Caitlin Joseph. And number 11, Natalie Moore.
Okay, and you see the difference that Frostburg threw a back handspring full, and Fairmont State threw a round-off full. And, again, that's a coaching strategy. Just throwing a full off of a round-off, you have fewer elements, so, less chance for error. You're watching possibly on leg synchronization, body position on the handsprings. So we'll see if that plays out in either one of their favors.
This will be the first time we see Notre Dame College this afternoon. This will be Katie Rice, Amelia Govan, and Sydney Gibson. A pair of sophomores and a freshman.
Yes, and as we look at their start value, the 9.1, it appears that they're going to be throwing a 1.5. So with a start value 0.6 higher, if they can bring those skills up, we may see that they have an individual national championship, or I should say conference championship here.
Number 1, Katie Rice. Number 14, Amelia Govan. And number 35, Sydney Gibson.
Any thoughts on the first time seeing Notre Dame this afternoon?
Well, they did a nice job. Their synchronization was off slightly, but again, they have a 0.6 start value higher, so they might be able to absorb that. And we'll see. We'll find out.
Up next in the quad, it will shift back to Fairmont, Frostburg, and West Liberty. Find out who our winner is going to be. just might be ready here. Seeing some movement to our right. All three groups out there waiting. Would love to see a trophy on the way for the Falcons, perhaps. And we'll find out.
And your trio tumbling champion with a score of 7.95, Notre Dame College.
Just fantastic to see.
And I'm very happy for that. I'm very happy for them. And all the teams are making a tunnel over to the side for them as they run through. It just warms your heart to see the camaraderie of all of these athletes, student athletes together.
Should have Fairmont State to kick us off next here.
First with a start value of 9.1 from Fairmont State, number 1, Chloe Smith. Number 17, Asia Schaefer. Number 29, Elizabeth Marr. And number 35, Jacqueline Kelly.
Oh, very nicely done. Synchronization looks good.
Very good.
Sometimes that's difficult to do when you have 4 athletes out on the mat. This will be interesting to watch because all 3 teams that we see out here are going to be executing the same skill, which are 1.5s. They all have a start value of a 9.1.
This now the Hilltoppers. They wait on the go-ahead. Any second now. And we'll see the Bobcats to round out.
Next with a start value of 9.1 from West Liberty, number 0, Caleb Candy. Number 8, Jillian Hartz. Number 10, Avery Ray. And number 15, Bella Paternoster.
Towards that far side, might be able to pick something out, perhaps.
Yeah, she had a little deep squat in her landing, and again, that will affect the overall score. But overall synchronization looked good.
Now the Bobcat quad waiting for the go-ahead. Head into the aerial. That again will be a different mix here. Frostburg, Glenville, and West Liberty.
Our final qualifier with a start value of 9.1 from Frostburg State. Number 5, Mia Aguilar. Number 12, Alexis Palmieri. Number 17, Sydney Green. And number 54, Julia Welch.
at the end of the quad.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Should be Kayla Gandy to kick us off in the aerial coming up next. And 2 start values of 10
yes.
on the sheet here.
And it's difficult to have a start value of 10. So it's fun to watch the different combinations of skills that they chain together to reach that start value.
What will come of this? I do believe we're going to see the trophy picked up momentarily. See some motion over there. The trophy is starting to get a bit slimmer over there. Hard to believe we're running through already.
It's getting. We can see the light at the end of this tunnel, can't we?
And of course, the big trophy sitting over there on the table on the opposite side, waiting to be given out later on this afternoon.
And well, we'll talk about that in a second. We'll remember this time.
And your quad tumbling champion with a score of 8.35, Fairmont State.
It's a Fairmont State victory there.
Yes. Now we're approaching the individual passes, starting with aerial.
Will be, of course, again, Gandy coming from the left side of your screen.
Our next team is aerial tumbling. First with a start value of 10.0 from West Liberty, number 0, Gandy.
Really lit the place up here.
Very nicely executed.
Should be Sydney Green to follow from the Bobcats. Another 10 start value on the list. Number 17 for the Bobcats coming up.
As you said earlier, about in 2 weeks, that Fairmont State is going to be hosting the NCAA National Championship. We're really looking forward to that. I'll tell you a little bit more about that.
Next with a start value of 10.0.
Number 17.
Frostburg State, number 17, Sydney Green.
That's Nia Ivanov. We'll see her later. Addition from Green.
Very nice.
And then over in the right corner, you'll see Savannah Duckworth for the Pioneers to close us out. We'll have the 6 element coming here shortly.
Our final qualifier with a start value of 9.85,
great performances from her so far here this afternoon.
And she's only a sophomore.
Which is so hard to believe.
Yes.
Great piece to have to build your team around on the Glenville side. We'll have to see who walks away with this one.
It'll be another close decision.
Of course, coming up next in the 6th element, we'll see Fairmont, Frostburg, and West Liberty again. And after that, only one more to go.
Yes, almost there.
Open up next, we should be seeing Jillian Hartz from the Hilltoppers.
Appears that she has a 9.75 start value, and Fairmont State does as well. And thirdly, we'll see Frostburg with a 9.55 start value.
Once we get to the end, I do see another 10 start value coming up, so always something to keep your eyes open for and look forward to. Another trophy on the way to the mat, it seems. I believe. Might have a tie.
We have a tie.
There you go.
Between West Liberty and Frostburg.
Well, it looks like we'll try it again.
Oh, so we get the time
Second time this afternoon.
Hey, being consistent. Got to do it twice in a row.
I would argue this packs the pressure on even more.
Oh, absolutely.
Up first in the tiebreaker with a start value of 10.0 from West Liberty, Kayla Bailey.
Almost sent the roof off this place.
Very nice.
Thoughts coming out of that, perhaps?
Very, very nice, very nice. Her connection within her strap, her 1.5, very smooth. That transition worked well. Legs are together. Nice extension. Controlled landing.
Now we'll see Green try it again. Waiting for our go-ahead here.
Now with a start value of 10.0 from Frostburg State, number 17, Sydney Green.
And the second try from Green in the books now. Only 2 more trophies sitting over there on that table.
Counting down.
1 for this, and then we'll have more coming. The big thing there was that trophy looming large for the winner of 3 p.m.'s matchup, and was sitting towards the middle of that table.
And also we have in contention, we've had the rankings for nationals, the national championship, and Fairmont State and Frostburg State are both in the top 8 rankings. And as it stands today, they both would be competing in nationals. So, you know, a lot
that sends a great
on
message about the conference to where they sit at this point in time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Fairmont State right now is sitting in the 7th position of rankings, and Frostburg is in the 8th position of rankings. And you know, we have one more ranking to come out and to finalize it. And let's hope that they both can maintain that.
We will have the 6th element coming up. We get our anticipated result from this tie the first time around.
And we have a decision.
Your aerial tumbling champion with a score of 9.65, West Liberty.
We knew coming into this, of course, yesterday seeing Kayla, that she is very talented when it comes to this aspect.
Yes, she is. She's a very strong athlete. According to our notes, she's a junior, and so she will be there another year, which is wonderful. Helps to build that program. And, you know, they're celebrating. They're lifting her up in the air, and they're so excited for her.
And one of her teammates in Jillian Hartz will kick us off now as we move forward again.
Our next team is the 6th element tumbling. First with a start value of 9.75 from West Liberty, number 8, Jillian Hartz.
Thoughts on that? She did a very nice pass. A little bit of a stall from her 1.5, that transition going into her following skill.
Next up should be Riley Vinson from Fairmont State. Should be coming from the right side. Very well done.
Yes, nice transition, good connection, good controlled landing.
We'll have to to see what Nia Ivanov brings to the table as we close out from the Bobcats coming from the left side.
Riley does a nice job in setting up her tuck at the conclusion of that skill following her whip. So looking at the height difference. One of the many things that the officials look at.
She waits to start with a 9.5 over there. Didn't quite stick the landing, unfortunately.
That's unfortunate.
At least gives them a chance, however, to think about in the future how this will go and maybe use it as a trial run, if you will.
Well, absolutely. It's now she can, analyze her execution, get feedback from her coach, make those critical corrections for the championship, which comes at 3 o'clock, because again, 3 o'clock may determine whether or not they are back on this court in 2 weeks for the national championship.
Next, we'll jump into the Open, and we'll see Notre Dame College swing back into the mix.
I think this just warms everyone's heart here to see Notre Dame here.
To see them already walk away with a trophy as well, that adds to it.
Absolutely.
Your six-element tumbling champion with a score of 9.4, Fairmont State.
It seemed like a very good run there, if you ask me.
Yes. Okay, we're down to our last one.
Yeah, the Open coming up here. We should see Katie Rice kicking things off for Notre Dame College.
Our final heat is Open Tumbling. Up first with a start value of 9.1 from Notre Dame, number 1, Katie Rice.
Looking rather thrilled there at the end of that.
Love watching all the little antics that they all do when they finish. The excitement.
Madison Hahn will follow for the Pioneers with a 9.6 to kick off. To close out, we'll see Katie Cole at the end. That's that start value of 10 that we're looking forward to seeing.
Great way to finish with 10.
Oh, without a doubt.
Next with a start value of 9.6 from Glencoe State, number 9, Madison Hahn.
popping up there after that. But another one just couldn't quite stick the landing, unfortunately. The majority looked very solid, just at the end struggled a bit.
Yes.
We wait to see Cole here at the end.
And our final qualifier with a start value of 10.0 from Fairmont State, number 5, Katie Cole.
Very tough to beat.
Very nice.
Only one more trophy to hand out here as we've reached the end of individuals. Don't forget the championship coming up at 3.
Yes, we hope you've enjoyed the individual championships today that we've had. Got to see a little bit from all of the teams, the best of they have to offer and the best of the best. Now we'll get to see how much energy Frostburg State and Fairmont State have conserved and the endurance that they have. And they're going to be turning around here in just a little bit over 2 hours, which they will be in for their warm-ups. And when the warm-ups start, and then they will be starting the actual meet at 3 o'clock.
Very closely contested last time around between those two. We'll break into that a little bit more later on. Don't want to give too much away now. There's still plenty of time left later on, but now we wait to see who this final trophy will go to. You enjoyed the coverage here of individuals so far this afternoon. Glad you could join us for this.
It's been a fun morning.
Very fun. We'll cap it off when we get this final trophy onto the mat. And wait to hand out the big one over there. It's always great to get a chance to have one of those trophies and hold it if you've been a part of anything in any season that's earned one of those. Quite the accolade to have.
Oh, absolutely. And again, you have your individual pieces, but this is a team sport.
And your open tumbling champion with a score of 9.775, Fairmont State.
I had a feeling you might see it head that way.
Yes.
Great performance, very tough to beat. And that's a win for Fairmont State. Any final thoughts here as we wrap things up for individuals?
I am just excited for 3 o'clock to roll around, and I can't wait to see how our teams show up. And we want to see them at their best level and their best performance, and see what they have to offer on this final day.
Thank you for joining us for coverage of individuals. Stay tuned for 3 p.m. as the championship meet between number 1 and number 2, Frostburg State and Fairmont State coming up. Once again, thanks for joining us.